I'm getting blisters. What kind of sandals did you have made for us? I know, Mira. My feet are also killing me. I told the chapatwala to make them durable. They'll soften up soon. We've already walked 17 miles and it's only the first day. Yes, they'll soften up. But will we have any feet by then? Baba, I'll just walk barefoot. It must be better than this.
That first night, October 16th, 1949, Baba and the companions slept on the grounds of a vacant outdoor cinema. Baba and the men were on one side of the screen, and the women were on the other. Many years later, Money recalled that first night of the new life.
A light was on, and I was throwing shadow puppets on the screen with my fingers, making rabbits and such. Baba was on the other side with the men, hidden from our view, but we could hear Erich as he interpreted Baba's orders.
You have to be lords and masters of your faces during the new life, no matter what happens.
Simply masking your face was not the solution. Baba would draw out the tiniest flicker of emotion or conflict. Going around with a smile on your face was not what it meant to be cheerful. Oh no, to do that at the wrong time would be just as bad. We had to develop such a sensitivity to Baba's pleasure at all times.
In a discussion at Supa the next morning, Baba said,
"From now on, everything must be clear, open, and truthful. Nothing should be kept secret and hidden. All are equal, and all should treat each other and accommodate each other equally. Everyone should try to be 100% honest and should only speak the truth, whatever the circumstances and consequences."
We are all on an equal footing from now on. For us all, henceforth, there is no spirituality, no master, no disciple, no miracles, no key turning, no hopes, thoughts of benefits, or of privations. Look upon me as a friend who will help and advise you until the end of December.
Far and wide as the feet can wander, on we journey without hope. Hardships test and try the mind to see if smiling we can go. We are the new life soldiers, in a trust in God we rely.
during the first days of walking, Baba and the companions averaged about 2.5 miles an hour, with considerable discomfort due to the blazing sun, stiff sandals, and for some, lack of conditioning for this level of exertion. Gunny had a minor heart attack, but recovered. One night, the party tried to sleep in spite of continuing fireworks. But at midnight, Baba told them to get up and pack. They left shortly afterward by bus, headed for Belgaum, 6 hours due south of Pune, where they were to undergo what Baba described as a training period for several weeks. Throughout their journey, and indeed throughout the new life, endless hardships were encountered. Baba and the Mandali suffered hunger, cold, lack of sleep, bad weather, and illness.
sleeping.
No doubt you're sleeping, but Baba clapped. Get up.
What is this getting up at 4 in the morning? We have nothing to do and no reason for it. This is nonsense! 2 hours sleep if we're lucky.
Come on, old man. Get yourself up. Get yourself going.
All right.
Just like the rest of us have to.
All right. Do you think you can make me some breakfast by the time I get dressed? I'll take 2 fried eggs and a slab of bacon.
Oh, please, don't talk of meat. You know it revolts me.
Or some big fat sausages and some mixed grill.
You're making me nauseous.
Huh? These grassitarians.
Mayra, Auntie, it was so cold last night. Were you able to sleep? And such a hard ground for a bed. Did you sleep at all?
I slept a little. You know, even when there's discomfort, we can find something to cheer us up. I keep thinking about that delicious ginger tea we had in Shirur.
Oh, and those delicious shortbread cookies from the Kalyani bakery. Oh, and that chutney sandwich. Oh, and I'll take 2 pots of that ginger tea.
I'm a little tea, pop, shop, and snap.
The companions settled in for their training period of hard labor on a 24-acre farm property in Dalakwadi, a rural suburb of Belgaum. They arrived in cold, windy, and rainy monsoon weather and had to settle in under difficult, muddy, and uncomfortable conditions. Baba told them,
These discomforts are the first step towards Satyanashi, complete ruination, through which we have to pass. There is a world of difference between renunciation and Satyanashi. Renunciation can be practiced and developed by anyone and has a quality and degree in relation to different types of renunciates. But Satyanashi cannot be practiced. It is not of anybody's seeking. It comes and cannot be resisted.
while speaking to the companions one afternoon, Baba said,
If the training period proves successful, our life of hopelessness will be the envy of gods.
Hear the voice of the breeze from the garden of the Lord. I am free in His pleasure, I am free. Hear the birds in the trees in the chorus of the Lord. I am free in His pleasure, I am free. Nothing here can bind me when nothing do I want. From His wish arises all happiness and peace. When nothing is my share, and nothing is my care, and everything is in the hand of God. Behold the wash of the seas, from the web surge of the Lord. I am free in His ocean, I am free. Hear the drop melodies in the one cup of the Lord. I am free in His ocean, I am free. Nothing here can bind me, when nothing do I want. His wish brings the sunshine and the rain. Nothing is my share, and nothing is my care, and everything is in the hand of God. My hope is all in God. My hope is all in God.
My friend is only God. say, has been of pain and suffering, which nobody could be said to enjoy. In 1950, life will be still more acutely painful, but this pain we will enjoy. This enjoyment of pain will, in itself, constitute a challenge to God.
On October 22nd, Baba began assigning chores. Both Baba and Mera participated in menial chores. Mera did sweeping, washing, and dusting, things Baba had never allowed her to do previously. For many of the companions, doing menial chores while also following Baba's orders to remain cheerful was quite a challenge. One evening, Mani entertained Baba and the women by reenacting a scene she had witnessed on the men's side.
Oh, Baba, it was so funny. Nilu and Oliver were having an argument, while all the while trying to be polite and cheerful. And the more they argued, the more polite and cheerful they tried to be. Won't you please, sir, kindly be a bit more helpful? I am an old man, and these buckets are very heavy. Oh, yes, yes, Oliver is most happy to carry all the buckets of water and do all the heavy lifting. What? Are there no more buckets of water to carry? You may just strap one on my back also. Oh, thank you, Oliver. You are most forthcoming in your desire to help.
Obedience was paramount in the new life. Baba said,
The companions must faithfully, honestly, and truthfully understand once and for all that although they might differ in helpfulness, utility, and likableness, they do not differ in the least in obedience to the conditions.
One day, Ustaji, who had been silent for many years under Baba's orders, was doing night watch. He found a parapet wall to sit on, and at some point in the night, he had to diddle. But seeing as they were staying at a shrine, he felt that he should go over the wall before he relieved himself. But just as he was about to climb over, Baba slapped loudly. He ignored his urge and rushed back to Baba, who of course asked him what he had been doing. But not being able to speak, Ustaji had to act out the scenario for him. Baba clapped again and said, while you're on night watch, you should just sit still. The next morning, he looked over the wall and found that he would have fallen 40 feet to a deep lake abutting the wall. This reminds me of another story of strict obedience, a funny one, and of course, that one involved Ghani. Ghani, come, Baba's calling. Ghani, come immediately.
Am I not here? I dropped everything.
In Balagwadi, Baba informed the arrangement wallahs that the labor phase of the training program would be carried out in Belgaum, followed by a second phase of begging and life in Langoti, or loincloth, from late November to 10th December in Benares, followed by a third training phase, the gypsy life of wandering on foot, from the 10th of December through the end of the year, on the road from Benares to Hardwar. From January 1st, 1950 onward, whether on the way to Hardwar or wherever God would take them, Baba and the companions were to begin the endless new life of hopelessness in what Baba described as real earnest. On the morning of October 25th, Baba extended what he said would be his last invitation to the men to speak to him about any personal difficulties they were having. After this, he said, I will not hear of such things or try to explain things and satisfy you. Not everyone who started out in those early days was able to finish the new life journey with the companions. The first to leave was Dawlat Singh.
One night, Baba and I were making the rounds when we came upon Dawlat sobbing. Dawlat Singh. Baba asks, why are you crying?
Oh, Baba. I joined the new life with open eyes, willing never to see my family again. But this night, I could not help but remember my daughter's last words to me. You see, the date for her wedding was fixed for 3 days after our departure from the new life. She begged me to stay just 3 more days to be there. When I told her I could not, she said, "You are not my father." Up until this evening, I had been very happy in the new life. But this night, I cannot stop my daughter's words from pounding in my brain.
So, Dawlat, the next day, Baba sent you home to live the new life with your family. And it wasn't until later, after the new life, that we learned what happened when you returned home.
When I arrived home, I could see clearly why all this had come about. My daughter was deathly ill, and I arrived home in time to help her recover. If I had not gone back, I am sure she would have died. I've always felt it was Baba's compassion that sent me.
And as events turned out, we did see Dawlat again in the new life. But that's a story for another day.
During this period, Baba asked Dr. Gunny to compose a poem on the new life, incorporating its principles and particularly stressing the control of lust, greed, and anger, while remaining happy and cheerful under all circumstances. Baba said that this poem would be read out every day as a prayer before starting the daily activity. And when it was set to music, it would be the first song to be sung during music sessions. By way of help and encouragement, Baba dictated the chorus to Gunny in Urdu. In English, it reads as follows.
Listen to the silent words of Meher Baba. The life story of all lovers of God is based on the practice of these words.
Baba humorously remarked that if Gunny, who scrupulously avoided physical exertion, failed to complete the song by the next morning, he would have to do 100 sit-ups.
Listen to the silent words of Meher Baba. The life story of all lovers of God is based on the practice of these words. If you are serious about living this new life, then wholeheartedly renounce this ephemeral existence.
We have taken to this life in which we rely only on God. In this, our will, to do or die, is strengthened by the oath taken. We merrily sing the song of hopelessness, despite all calamities and difficulties.
We neither wail over lost hopes nor complain about broken promises. We neither covet honor nor shun disgrace. Backbiting we know not, nor do we fear anyone. This is now the tenor of our new life.
No confusion in the mind now, nor any ties left. Pride, anger, lust, and greed are sloughed off. No religion for any of us, nor care for physical and mental fads. The Sheikh and the Brahmin are now sailing in the same boat.
There is no small or great now for us all. The questions of disciple, master, nor godhood no longer arise. Brotherliness or fellow feeling is the link that exists, and this contributes to our present enjoyment of self.
This world or the next, hell or heaven, We are no longer concerned with that. Shiktis and sadis, occultism and miracles, we are no longer plagued with. All these false impressions have been purged from the mind. What has value and importance for us now is to live in the active present.
Dear ones, take seriously the words of Baba when he says, although now I am on the same level with you all, yet all orders from me, good, bad, extraordinary, you should carry out immediately, leaving the result to God.
Even if the heavens fall, do not let go of the hand of truth. Let despair, disappointment, ravage and destroy the garden of your life. Beautify it once again by the seedlings of contentment and self-sufficiency.
Even though your heart be cut to bits, let there be a smile on your lips. Here I divulge to you a truth. Hidden in your penniless hands is a treasure untold. Your beggarly life will be the envy of kings.
When the Song of the New Life was finished being composed in Hindi, Baba had it translated to English, and both versions distributed in India, Ceylon, and Pakistan. But not in the West, he ordered. After the letters were mailed, Baba told the men,
The composition of Dr. Ghani's song is excellent. Not only does it contain the new life conditions and requirements, but it is full of poetic beauty.
He then expressed a concern.
But somehow, I feel that the song is likely to be misunderstood and misinterpreted by the world outside as encouraging atheism and communism.
A lengthy discussion followed, and all agreed that something more should be added to avoid giving the wrong impression. Baba then asked Gunny to write a last quatrain based on the idea given by Baba.
God exists indeed, and true are the prophets. Every cycle has an avatar, and every moment has a wali. For us, however, it is only hopelessness and helplessness. How else can I describe to you what our new life is?
On November 1st, 1949, Baba had the companions sing the Song of the New Life before him every morning. The companions' training and obedience continued apace. Baba urged the companions to help and encourage each other to follow the conditions literally.
So, Erich put all our questions to Baba?
Absolutely, just as we discussed it.
How did he put it, Abby?
First, Erich told Baba that our will is to fulfill the new life conditions and that no one can deny this.
Excellent. Then what?
Baba said that we must not touch money, and we must not touch women, and we must carry out all orders, whether good, bad, unusual, without hesitation. And we must remain cheerful under all circumstances. But Baba said, and this really surprised me, that if we follow these conditions 100%, that there's no power, not even God, could make us legal.
Did Erich ask him what the heck this new life is all about? What is Baba gonna have us do and why? Did Erich ask him all that?
He did, Gandhi. But Baba told him that even he, Baba, has only a very hazy vision of what this new life is, and that the details, he has no vision of the details of how it will unfold. Baba dictated this ghazal, and he asked that you would read it out to us all.
This will be the ultimate end of the new life. wherein no one will depend on anyone for anything. There will be no food, no sleep, no comfort. It will either be our oath, ourselves, or God. Though stone in the liver, there will be wine between the lips, and Abdul Ghani will turn into Sakaran, a friend of Ram. Huh, this is brilliant.
News of Baba's presence in Belgaum appeared in the Belgaum newspapers November 6th, which prompted a large number of people to come for his darshan. It was quite a task for the companions to explain their experience of the new life without portraying Baba as their master and themselves as his disciples. Nor could they speak of spiritual topics in the new life. Some of the visitors asked questions about the new life, but no satisfactory reply could be given due to the restrictive conditions. That afternoon, Baba told the companions the following to help them deal with visitors.
Hopelessness means renunciation of all hopes. Aimlessness means renunciation of all aims. Helplessness means renunciation of all help. No master, no disciples means renunciation of spirituality. And the new life I have in mind eventually means absolute renunciation.
Therefore, if anyone asks what this new life is, say it's absolute and complete renunciation. If they ask renunciation of what, then say of everything, aims, hopes, help, and even life itself. You should treat the questioners with kindness and humility. Under no circumstances should you get upset over the questions and become angry, whatever the questions, proper, improper, or irritating.
Baba then dictated some couplets to Dunn.
We don't bother in the least with what others think of us. Our preoccupation and business is suffering, and suffering alone. Night is the same as day, and morning the same as evening. And the only cash found in Abdul Ghani's pockets is poverty.
Baba and the companions set out from Belgaum at 4:30 a.m. November 12th, traveling an arduous 34 hours to arrive in Mughal Sarai, just north of Benares. Baba and the companions stayed in Mughal Sarai on a hill above the ancient city, in a secluded estate with palatial buildings named Nati Imli. Baba forbade them from using the luxurious chairs, sofas, and beds they found there, as these, he said, were prohibited in the new life. We lived like beggars in a palace, one of the women recalled. While at Nati Imli, Baba had Ghani sing the following lines composed by Baba in Urdu. Harich later referred to these lines as the Mandali's prayer.
Yesterday passed somehow. Today too will pass. Who gives a damn for tomorrow?
will of God, teacher be damned, he said. Facing a new life which shall be old. Renunciation has broken the mold. The ships of adventure have all been shown. The ships of adventure have all been shown. All those forsaken, the dream is shaken. Foundations breaking, sleep awaken. Wise living in eternity. Oh, what is the past? These bones bathed in dead. What is the past? These bones bathed in dead. What is the present? If the year of the green flood. And about the future, why worry your head? Hear our elder brother, he resigned instead. To the will of God, to the will of God, to the will of God, and teacher be damned, he said. As present and future, we do more aloud. As present and future, we do more aloud. No longer do worries trouble our crown. No longer do worries trouble our crown. All those forsaken, the dream is shaken, foundations breaking, from sleep awaken, life is living eternity. What is the past which comes making dead? What is the past which comes making dead? What is the present and the year of complete blood? And about the future, why worry your head? You're our elder brother, he resigned instead. The will of God, the will of God, the will of God, and teacher be damned, he said.
From the 26th to the 30th of November, the companions began what Meher Baba called the begging phase of the new life. Baba gave the men detailed instructions about how they were to do their begging. While begging, he said, you have to say to women,
Mai, Diksha Dijiye.
Mother, give alms. And to men,
Aye, Diksha Dijiye.
brother, give alms. Baba inaugurated the begging phase by begging from Dr. and Mrs. Knott, who were already providing food for the companions at Nati Imri. Before starting out, Baba ordered the companions to wash their feet, which he then touched. The Mandali, completely unaccustomed to the freezing northern climate, started their daily discipline of begging early in the morning. Wherever they went, the local people were curious and besieged them with questions.
What is your religion, sir?
What is your sect, good sir?
Who is your master? What's his teaching?
Allah, what are we to say? Baba doesn't allow us to reveal his name or any information like this.
It's these ridiculous turbans. They'll never leave us alone.
Say Biksha, DJ.
Please give alms with love.
What? You look like Punjabi athletes. Why are you begging? Go and get a job. Array, you could make money being restless.
Ma, prende picture DJ.
I've had enough of you, Seiler. You're all freeloaders. Go! Go, leave us alone. Just go.
How could a fellow Hindu treat me like this? If a beggar comes to your door, you never turn him away. Could be Lord Ram in disguise.
Ma, friend say Riksha DJ.
Is it true, my son, you need food?
Yes, mother. Please get food before.
Jyoti, please bring some food.
But, Ma, this is all the food we have. The children.
Lord Ram will provide.
Day by day, life for the companions grew increasingly more difficult due to additional restrictions given by Baba. Among these were not to discuss spiritual matters in Baba's presence, not to discuss politics, national or international, not to read newspapers, not to speak about immodest things, not to talk of the old life in Baba's presence. Baba repeatedly warned the companions to remain faithful to the oaths and conditions of the new life. One night, in the men's quarters, Duncan raised a question.
Dr. Dunn, sir, you're a learned scholar. You're in fact a walking encyclopedia of spirituality. Can you tell us, what is this new life all about?
The new life means at least this much. To do routine things at odd times, to create difficulties where there was none, and to needlessly disrupt an otherwise smooth situation.
Johnny, Baba asks, what do you mean by that?
Baba, look at the unearthly time for our morning tea. 5 a.m. Yet, we have no morning arti, no namas, no puja. But still, at 4:30 a.m., we have to crawl out of bed, shivering and coughing in the bitter cold, all for the cold pleasure of a cup of tea and chapati, if we have one available. These zoo animals here, they eat better than we do.
Baba asks, are these remarks meant to be taken humorously? Or do you all feel that the orders are unnecessary and meaningless?
No, Baba.
Baba says he's happy to hear that. And tomorrow morning, tea will be served at 4:45.
On the bitter cold morning of December 7th, Baba took the four women to the Buddhist temple in Sarnath and had each of them bow down to the great gold statue of Buddha. After they had done so, he himself bowed down.
We all felt there was a profound significance to Baba bowing down to himself as Buddha.
Yes. And then he had Mani write down the list of all the avatars and put it on a piece of paper. He then took the list and put it in his pocket.
Baba never told us the meaning of this, and we never asked.
few days later, Baba brought the men to an ancient ruin associated with the early ministry of Buddha. He had them take off their clothes and put on langotis, or loincloths. In India, the loincloth symbolizes renunciation and nakedness before God. Baba handed each of the men a slip of paper with a prayer on it and asked them to meditate silently on the prayer for 15 minutes. Peace and stillness pervaded these sacred surroundings where the Buddha once sat with his disciples. After the 15 minutes had elapsed, Baba asked Dr. Gunny to say Hogaya 7 times loudly. Hogaya means
Finished! Hogaya! 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 Hogaya!
What is this? Is this Bollywood? I'll show you Bollywood!
Next installment will be at 7:30 this evening. Be there or